Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca and welcome to Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship, Utopia of the Seas. All right, so we are here on Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship, Utopia of the Seas, and I would like nothing better than to show you around. Spend the next 20-30 minutes with me as I give you a tour around one of the newest, most modern cruise ships in the world. We're going to start here on deck 5. There's a lot of action down here, and oh well, enough looking at me. Let me turn this camera around and show you some of the sights. So starting out here on deck 5, we have one of the newest features of the Royal Caribbean Oasis class of cruise ships. This is the pesky Parrot. Now this bar made its debut on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, but this one here on Utopia of the Seas is the first on an Oasis class cruise ship. This replaces the Bionic bar, and this really has, I would say, like a Florida Keys type vibe, and it even has its own parrot, Brian the Parrot. He'll talk to us possibly. Oh,
stop you if you've heard this one. 3 pigeon couples walk straight into a bar. The 4th jokes.
There you go, Brian with the jokes. But a really nice tropical type bar. Like I said, it feels like you're in the Keys. Got a nice tiki vibe, booze in the blender type feel. How are you? Got your frozen drinks here. I'm gonna have to try this peanut butter colada before I get off the cruise ship. Wing zinger, taste of the tropics. And like I said, even like in the Keys, you're starting to get some people putting their pictures. You got a row of dollar bills going up. And this has really been a hot spot so far on this cruise. And there's a nice seating area that accompanies the pesky pirate here in the common area. This is really a nice change because I feel like on other Oasis class cruise ships, this area a little bit underused. We do have another parrot here, but this one not animated. He's just there chilling for a nice photo opportunity, more tikis. And then this gives us a look at the aft of deck 5. You do have the Zoom help desk, so if you have internet problems, you can get help for those problems on deck 5. And then also on deck 5, you have this port and shopping desk. And when this is manned, this is someone who will help you with the shopping, both on the ship and off the ship. There are 2 sets of elevator banks that have 2 sets of elevators on this cruise ship. These are the aft. They're just offset of mid, so just a little past mid, but more toward the aft of the cruise ship. And they use the new destination elevators on this cruise ship, which is really a cool feature. You just pick which deck that you want to go to. Say we want to go to deck 11, it tells us to go to car A, and then you have a big light that lights up above car A. You just pop right in and it takes you to your floor. So it's been wonderful. It really reduces some of the congestion around the elevators. Now, in addition to the 3D maps of the ship, you also have these information boards, LED screens posted around the ship. And then of course the big feature at the aft of the cruise ship is one of the main dining rooms here on deck 5. They also use big screen technology to display their menus. Tonight we have the Bon Voyage dinner. So look at the menu. And this really is a beautiful dining room. The food has been excellent in here. Let me give you a quick peek at the dining room. I love the way that this dining room is decored, the color scheme. You got the rusts and the mustards, and then featured in the center of this dining room, huge sculpture chandelier from the ceiling, and then this huge wall of art. It's just a beautiful dining room. Really good food, really good service. It's all been top notch. All right, so popping out of the dining room, we do get the grand announcement of really what deck 5 Deck 6, Deck 7 is straight ahead. It is the Royal Promenade, the open promenade concept used widely across Royal Caribbean cruise ships. It's really distinctive, and it plays out so well on these Oasis class cruise ships and also on the Icon class. We'll make the move this way just to show you a couple more features. Deck 5, you have both male and female bathrooms. And then if you desire to do some laps around the cruise ship, you can get that done on Deck 5, where they have a promenade Deck 5 walking track. And the nice thing is it's covered, so you can walk without being in the sun. Here's the details on the jogging track. 2.4 laps, 1 mile. I guess just for context, so you understand where it's at, one of the newest specialty dining venues on the cruise ship is the Royal Railway. And you see we've got this nice theming here, Utopia Station. And this is on Deck 4 on the port side. And behind these doors are 2 railway cars that provide a specialty dining experience. And I'll put some footage in here of what it looks like beyond those doors. We did get a little bit of a sneak peek. You can also make entrance to the main dining room on Deck 4. And then Deck 4 houses Casino Royale. It's in full operation now, but I did go in there when it was closed. And this is what it looks like inside of Casino Royale. Pretty decent. Half of that casino is smoking, the other half is non-smoking. And it's one of the few casino experiences I've really had that even though smoking and non-smoking were commingled, when you're deep on the non-smoking side, you really don't smell the smoke at all. I think they use some ionizers, some other technology in the columns of the casino to keep you smoke free, which is nice. All right, returning back to Deck 5, let's take a stroll around the Royal Promenade, and I will point out some of the sights. So we have our first fine shopping experience here. Regalia Fine Watches. And the Regalia Fine Watches right next to Guest Services. The Guest Services line hasn't been too bad on this cruise, but they always have a lot of folks working it, which makes it go quick. I do love this monkey statue. And then next to Guest Services here on Deck 5, we have the Cafe Promenade. And the Cafe Promenade is kind of a catch-all spot where you can get your coffee for a price. If you have a beverage package, you can get your coffee here. This has all the Starbucks drinks that they offer on board. So like I said, you can use your package for that. But then they also have included food here. And this is going to be like 24 hours a day. You can always come get some fruit. Depending on the time of day, you can get sandwiches and just a great variety of things. And then you can even get just regular coffee here. This is always here. Water. There's a drink station there. Popping right outside of the Cafe Promenade every one of the Oasis class cruise ships have their own distinctive vehicle. And you've got this nice baby blue, I don't think I know what kind of car this is, honestly. Any car fans out there know what kind of car that is? Beautiful. Next to the car, you have the next cruise area where you can book your next cruise. And we do have an Effie store here, somewhat at the entrance to the Royal Promenade. Let's just take a second and I'll show you all the way down the promenade. This is the inaugural sailing. It's the second sailing with paying passengers. Both the last sailing and this sailing designated as inaugural sailing. So tonight there's going to be a big balloon drop. The shops continue on with accessory place. There's a bandstand up there where you'll have musicians for parades. And then over here to the right, we have what some would argue to be the best pizza at sea, Sorrento's Pizza. We'll take a quick swing through Sorrento's. This place is seemingly open 24 hours a day. I think they do shut down sometime in the middle of the night. But I believe starting at 10 a.m. on, this is a spot where you can go for grab-and-go pizza. And they really manage the line here. Like, you know, anytime a bunch of people show up here, it seems like they're able to churn out a bunch of pizza. And as you can see at this time of day, there is a lot of pizza already on hand. They also have a little drink station where you can get water and plenty of seating. And Sorrento's, of course, the staple for Royal Caribbean, sits right across from another Royal Caribbean staple. The names change, but the concept's the same. This is the Bell and Barley Pub. This is fashioned and themed in the style of a UK pub, public house. And of course they sell drinks. Good spot for people to gather. And then at night they have a pub singer who plays songs, and it's really a lively spot at night. Then we have this big shell, which is another nice piece of art here. The thing that I thought of as I walked, it kind of looks like manicotti, right? Isn't that like for stuffed shells? I think it's supposed to be a seashell, but all of a sudden I'm thinking pasta. Maybe it's a pasta thing. I don't know. Right next to the pub is the Port Merchants Royal Caribbean. You've got the duty-free liquor store. Then you also have the Royal Shop, where you can get all of your branded Royal merchandise. There is a decent amount of Utopia of the Seas merchandise, from hats and shirts and ship models. And then when the shops are open, these little counters in the middle will also be a place of commerce. You have Solaria across from the Port Merchant shop. It's going to sell your colognes and your fragrances. As we make our way almost forward on deck 5, you do kind of have two entertainment spots right across from each other, the Spotlight Karaoke and Boleros. Boleros is a Latin themed bar. They have Latin music at night, Latin band, and it definitely captures that vibe. Pretty popular bar here. And then just kind of a nice Latin seating area. Almost feels like Cuba with the car and the missionary style architecture. And right across from Boleros is the Spotlight Karaoke, which, as the name suggests, they have karaoke here, but they also have game shows and they hold other events. This is a great spot. They have, of course, public karaoke, where you're gonna have people up on stage there. It looks like they're having something right now. But if you see back in the corner, you have the gold and the platinum. Those are karaoke rooms that you can rent. So it's That's really cool. And then across from Spotlight Karaoke, you have a full-fledged Starbucks. Now, the nice thing about this Starbucks is you can use your Starbucks app. I believe you can use Starbucks gift cards here. But I guess the thing to remember is that all of the drinks that they sell here, they also sell at the cafe that we looked at earlier. And so if you have a drink package or anything that's included like that at all, you don't want to get it from the Starbucks because you're going to pay your money here at the Starbucks. It's better to use your drink package. But if you don't have a drink package and you've got, say, money on your Starbucks app, well, that's the way to go. Let's peer down real quick onto deck 4. We'll go down there next. That's where a lot of the entertainment happens, but they do such a great job with these areas between the elevators. And look at these two colorful rays. There's a third one up there. Let's go walk around. We should be able to see all the way up into this elevator area. They have these little alcoves cut in. Now at the very forward of deck 4 and deck 5, possibly deck 6, you have entrances to the Royal Theater. Tonight they're going to be hosting comedy. Important to remember, when you're on a Royal Caribbean ship, most of these shows require reservations. So when you get on board, you want to make reservations for your shows, or they will sell out. And here's another look at the wonderful art in between the elevators. Look at that. So nice. All right, let's pop down to deck 4 and we will see some of the entertainment venues, and we can also take a quick look at the art gallery. So I think maybe at this point you've started to recognize how massive this cruise ship is. And the cool thing is, even though it's massive and even though it holds a lot of people, it also offers a lot of public space. So it hasn't really felt that crowded at all. We're down here on deck 4 now. Let me show you some of the entertainment venues and some more aspects of the casino. So we have a peek at the deck 4 entrance of the Royal Theater. And we've seen some art start to make its way out of the art gallery because we have an art auction today. A nice feature of the Oasis class cruise ships, they do have a completely dedicated non-smoking casino. Of course, it's going to be smaller than the main casino. Again, I think they're open, so we can't go too deep, but here's a little bit of a look at the non-smoking casino. And as we make our way toward the aft of the cruise ship, you can see the art is popping off everywhere. We have an entertainment venue called the Attic, and this is it's closed right now, but they have comedy in there. They have game shows. Across from the Attic, we have the Crown Lounge, which this is for loyalty members that are Diamond, Diamond Plus, and beyond. It's only open certain hours. You need a key card to get in, which is nice. And just take a quick peek. They have food sometimes over here, but just a nice kind of chill place where you kind of escape the crowd. And it's open twice a day. It's open during the morning time, and then it's open during the evening. That's been a really nice perk. This is my first cruise that I've been able to access it, so I've been enjoying that. And then beyond that, we have Studio B. This is where they have the ice skating show, game shows, dance parties, Crazy Quest. A big change, though, on Utopia from the other Oasis class ships is you used to be able to access the casino in two ways. You could go down this hallway here where the box office is now, or you could go down this other hallway where the art gallery is, and now this is the only way to get to the casino. The nice thing about this, though, is it does pop you out in the non-smoking side of the casino, and so sometimes you would go the other route and end up in the middle of a smoky casino. Not the case here. But I do like the use of space here. I feel like it was pretty smart. They knew they needed a corridor anyways. And so they were able to utilize this corridor as the art gallery space. These walls are normally just completely filled with art, but they are pulling some of the art off the wall so that they can do the art auction later. But yeah, some great pieces. Wonder who bought that soul. And then as we get to the end of the art gallery,
Hello.
hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
We end up at the backside of the casino. Again, it's open, so we won't peek in there, but oh yeah, casino. So I've retraced our steps. We're back at the aft elevators on deck 4, right here next to the non-smoking casino. And I think what we should do next, we'll go up to a really special feature on these Oasis class cruise ships, something not seen anywhere else. Let's walk through Central Park, deck 8. Deck 8 in elevator B. Nice. Again, the light lights up. The hardest thing was to remember to look for the actual letter. This is cool. Tells you what day of the week it is, Thursday. And then once you pop in the elevator, you do get some more information. So it tells us the next deck is 8. It's kind of a nice verification to make sure that you got on the correct elevator. And sometimes there would be multiple decks. So just kind of a cool process for these destination elevators. And yeah, just like that, here we are. All right, and so we pop out on deck 8. It brings us right to Central Park. And again, if you've never seen this, this is really amazing. Right here in the middle of a cruise ship, you have all of these plants, all of this open space, cruise ship balconies. There's really nothing else like it in cruising. Just an amazing spot. Let me take you around. There's some great venues out here. First, we do have some shopping. This is the Collection. More jewelry. And as we go, I'll point out some things. Have these little alcoves where you can sit and relax, especially at night. They play music out here. It's super chill. I think these monkeys might be a theme. On the Wonder of the Seas, they have astronauts, and you're supposed to seek out all of the astronauts. Maybe the monkeys are the thing to seek out on Utopia. And then we have a great food venue that's an included food venue here on the right. This is the Park Cafe. We'll take a quick swing through there. The seating area here is a place where they do have live music at night. But dipping into the Park Cafe, they have a selection of both grab-and-go food. So when this is open, you can come get fruit and sandwiches. Hi! Fruit and sandwiches. But then they also do a carving of roast beef and make one of the more popular sandwiches here on the ship. It's a roast beef sandwich on a roll. They also accompany that with a gravy, an au jus, horseradish. They also have hot sandwiches, chipotle chicken, tuna melt, Cuban, and they even have a build your own salad station where they'll make salad for you, which is really nice. And then they offer you really nice indoor and outdoor seating. Have a drink station here, hot tea, coffee machines. You got the water machine. It really is a great venue. And then of course, if you have a sweet tooth, there's some great sweets here. So really nice. All right, let's pop back out. And we'll take a look at what we missed over here across from the Park Cafe. Of course, you're seeing Azumi in the park. This is another big change for Utopia of the Seas. It's a change I believe they made with Icon, where they moved Azumi from the deck 4, deck 5 area to out here in Central Park. Now it looks like they're doing some work here, so we can't get all the way to the entrance. But this is the entrance to Azumi, which is a sushi restaurant, and they've massively increased the size of the sushi restaurant. They've even added a special experience at the sushi restaurant called omakase, and I've heard from many people that the omakase experience worth the money and very nice. And then, of course, if you want just some grab-and-go sushi, that's what the window is over here. Azumi in the park. Here's a quick peek at the Azumi menu. Not sure that we can see that very well, but the typical Azumi menu that you see on other Royal Caribbean ships. But like I said, the unique feature is a little grab-and-go sushi. You can just come to the window and you can get sushi here, which is very nice. All right, we'll continue. This is something interesting to point out right in front of the Park Cafe, and it's around a lot of the establishments here in Central Park. There is umbrellas for use because it is open to the sky here. So when it rains here in Central Park. They also have a hand washing station outside of the eatery, which is good. And then you have this open sunlight. This is what provides some open sunlight down into the Royal Promenade. So pretty in here. Like, look at just this wall of greenery. Along with some nice art. It's giraffe. This is the Trellis Bar. Nice little bar spot out here in Central Park. And they even have some, alcoves that you can walk through. Hand washing stations. And then what we have here is the Rising Tide Bar. It's not in operation currently, but as you can see the bar seating through the glass there, this bar actually moves from this deck, deck 8, all the way down to deck 5. And so you can just sit there and have a cocktail and go between floors. On one side of the Rising Tide Bar is 150 Central Park. This is a specialty dining restaurant. A really interesting and diverse menu. This is probably my favorite specialty dining restaurant on the Oasis class cruise ships. And then on the other side of the Rising Tide Bar is the signature steakhouse concept for Royal Caribbean. You see this on a lot of Royal Caribbean cruise ships. This is the Chops Grill. So Central Park definitely has its charms, shopping, food, places to sit, places to listen to music. Super unique experience here on the Oasis class of cruise ships, but really just one deck away from another incredibly interesting exclusive experience on Royal Caribbean, the Boardwalk. We'll go see that, but I do want to quickly point out another feature of deck 8 is the music hall. The music hall, now it's closed for rehearsal right now, but I'll throw some footage in here so you can see it. A multi-deck music venue where they have all kinds of bands. They've had the rock band Phoenix, which is a tribute band. They have their soul band, their house band in there. Really great music venue. And now let's make the move down to deck 7. There's so many interesting and subtle things to like about cruise ships, and well, this art is one of them, certainly. And there's all kinds of interesting art on cruise ships. Funny, and speaking of subtleties, I noticed something else subtle at the main dining room last night. Let me show you this real quick. Just an observation, some cruise lines would like you to use your same silverware for every dish. Just lick that thing clean and use it. Not this cruise line, not Royal Caribbean. Look at all of the implements of dinner destruction I have tonight. You got your bread knife, you got your salad fork, you got your entree fork, you got your appetizer fork, you got a soup spoon, you got an escargot fork, you got another knife and another knife, and you got this spoon and that spoon. How many courses are we eating tonight? This is just the regular main dining room, but I am well prepared. To eat my food, and I'm glad I don't have to lick the fork because I don't like it when my food touches. So yeah, kudos Royal Caribbean, kudos. Now I've since been informed that those utensils at the top of the plate were for dessert, but wild that all of those utensils were on the table at one time. Certainly didn't use them all, so it feels like a little bit of a challenge where they're going to have to rewash that. And look, I'm not even making it down the stairs on deck 7 before I'm being distracted by more interesting artwork. Wow, look at these 3 images. Just beautiful, subtle, the shells. All right. Okay, I misspoke. The boardwalk, I guess, takes out on 6. 7 is just 7. It's nothing. It's cabins, which that doesn't mean it's nothing, but yeah, the boardwalk is here. Down one more flight to deck 6. And we have the entrance to the boardwalk. But before we look at that, here is the art on the other end of the ship. We saw those wonderful rays, and these kind of look like jellyfish. It almost looks like a big tree that's suspended in the elevator banks, but yeah, it's very cool. Goes all the way up to deck 15, I believe. Before we pop into the boardwalk, I am in an empty bathroom. So yeah, this is what the men's public restroom looks like on the Utopia of the Seas. There's interesting art in here too. Let me show you this one. It does all seem to be reptilian. So you've got these 2, some sort of reptiles. Are they chameleons? I don't know, but they're wearing hats, which is cool. And then of course you got a nice hand washing station. All right, to the boardwalk. All right. Like I said, another completely unique to Royal Caribbean concept here is the boardwalk area on Oasis class cruise ships, and Utopia of the Seas does not disappoint. The main feature, one of the main features of the boardwalk is the carousel, and so what's interesting is they give you kind of this evolution of the carousel horses. So it starts as a block of wood, they're hand carved. And then we go to the next iteration. You're starting to see some of the styling, the Crown and Anchor logo. Then a little more detailing. Then legs. And then you have the final product here. Seemingly ready to leap onto the carousel. As soon as you hit the boardwalk, there is a boardwalk-esque food venue. This is the Boardwalk Doghouse. Has a variety of hot dogs and sausages for your consumption. And like any good boardwalk, there are arcade machines, including skee ball. You have the Playmakers Sports Bar and Arcade. This is the spot to go to if you want to watch sports on the cruise. They do have a variety of drinks, and they also have food for pay. Now before we pop into Playmakers, let me show you this. Got one of these games where you can try to hook the ring, which I'm horrible at, but a very popular game. There's a Connect 4 game over there, but the games don't stop on the outside. When you pop inside, there's more games. When this place is open, you have pool that you can play. The pool balls are there for you. Got great table space here, Jenga. Look at all these screens. You can watch sports. Great time. I guess the Olympics are getting ready to start. So if you're on the ship, you can watch the Olympics. And then you have video games. And the nice thing about these classic video games is you can play for free. So if you want to play some Donkey Kong, Bingo Bango, it's on like Donkey Kong. The racing game, you got the foosball. Then you actually have the Playmakers bar area where you can get food and drink, which is super nice. A lot of great seating, nice bar. So. And as you pop out over from Playmakers, you're right across from Johnny Rockets, which is a burger joint. They have included breakfast, but this is a specialty dining restaurant. If you want to get the hamburgers and such, I think it's one fee, and you can get a couple sandwiches. Let's take a look over here at the menu. Okay. So yeah, here's the menu for Johnny Rockets. And I do believe you pay, in the past I think it was like $11.95, and you can get a starter and a burger, dessert. Of course, another signature feature of the newer Oasis class cruise ships is the termination of the Abyss slide, the Ultimate Abyss, down here on deck 6 at the boardwalk. It goes all the way up. I believe it starts on deck 16, a dry slide, comes all the way down. Hey, how are you? Oh, nice to meet you. And then as we pass beyond the Ultimate Abyss, we come to one of my favorite things on Royal Caribbean Oasis class cruise ships. It is the Aqua Theater. This is where they have the big aqua show, where very skilled performers, former Olympians, jump from the top of those platforms into a waiting pool down below. I think this show itself is worth booking a Royal Caribbean ship, an Oasis class cruise ship. And then you've got the rock walls here, rock wall on this side. There's a rock wall on that side, kind of tucked up there. This is really just a fascinating spot. Quite amazing. All right, one more thing to show you here on the boardwalk area as we pass back by Johnny Rockets. There is a candy shop on board. Now you've got the kids shop, which is kids merchandise, just a small shop there. And then you have Sugar Beach. They have an ice cream parlor in there. They sell candy. It's one of those places where you can really get your sugar on. See if you can see in there, you got the big wall of candy. Then you've got all this ice cream. And I think I was so fascinated by the horses, I didn't call out this boardwalk staple. It's a big one. Let me point it out. Zoltar. If you'd like to get your fortune read on the boardwalk, all you have to do is tap your SeaPass card and Zoltar will speak. All right, let's make our way back in, take a look at the rest of deck 6 here on the aft of the ship. I do love this stained glass piece. All right, passing under the jellyfish tree, we walk right into what is a really nice view of the Royal Promenade. And there's really two venues on this end of deck 6 that I'm going to show you, but here's a quick peek at the Royal Promenade. And you can see right here, this empty space is where the rising tide bar comes down from deck 8. There's the bottom of it. So it slowly makes its way down, which is cool. Now, I guess it's worth mentioning, a lot of times I'll film the ship when it's full, like on a sea day, but today is the last day of our cruise. Not a sea day, we're a perfect day at Coco Cay. I'm sure we'll see that Coco Cay when we get on the top deck, but that's why the ship looks so empty. I think it's close to capacity, but it really hasn't felt that crowded. So yeah, here's a couple features on Deck 6. So starting on the right side as we left the boardwalk, you have a shore excursions desk where you can help get planning for your shore excursions. You have the focus gallery where you can come look at the pictures that you've taken on board, and then up in the corner there is the photo studio. So this is a place where you can get professional pictures done. And then as you move over a little further, you have the Crown and Anchor Society desk, and you have the Schooner Bar. Schooner Bar, they have trivia. They're getting ready to kick off a trivia, and this is also where they have a piano player at night doing piano bar stuff. So it all overlooks the Royal Promenade, which is really cool, and nice places to chill out and get a drink and enjoy the cruise ship. All right, so we've seen a lot of the interior of the ship. Let's look at some exteriors. I think we're on the aft of the ship, so let's pop up to 16, and we'll start there. B, here it is. So popping off on 16, we'll start on the starboard side, which takes us to the official arcade on board. And there are a lot of different arcade games here. You got your air hockey, your regular video games, basketball, all kinds of stuff. But the real treat here on deck 16, in my opinion, is one of the best included food options on these Royal Caribbean Oasis class ships, El Loco Fresh. El Loco Fresh is the fast and grab and go Mexican, and this is open almost every day. You got build your own taco station here with 3 types of meats, rice and beans, pre-made burritos, big old cheese quesadillas. You've got tortilla chips and queso and meats, and you can also get your desserts and your grab and go fruit. Got a little bit of a drink station here, and you also have the salsa bar. Now what I just noticed is we're right next to another Oasis class cruise ship. I'm not sure which ship this is, but 2 Oasis class cruise ships in Perfect Day at Coco Cay. As we continue back on deck 16, you've got this really awesome themed out putt-putt course. This is something to behold. Look at how fun and aquatic themed this putt-putt is. Man, very cool. And while we're here, shall we take a look? I think we have the perfect look at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Wow. How cool is this? The perfect day at Coco Cay. Lovely day at Coco Cay. Perfect day at Coco Cay. Even back here on deck 16, you've got some fun for the kiddies. You got this slide that starts here. And it doesn't look like it's open right now, but there is zip lining on this cruise ship. If you are brave enough and you meet the weight requirement, you can zip line over top of the boardwalk from this position here all the way over to that position there. And of course, there's a look at the boardwalk. It's a good ways down. So if we take these stairs down, we'll pop down to deck 15. And here on deck 15, we've got the entrance for the ultimate abyss. We've got the Wipeout bar, and the Wipeout bar has shaved ice. Small $6, large $9. Wow, I don't think I've ever tried this. So these are the flavors. How cool is that? And nobody's on it right now, but you also have the Flow Rider, the surf simulator here, which is cool. You got a little seating spectator area. Let's take a look at this side of Coco Cay. Like, you got these little football tables, soccer tables, foot soccer. And here's the entrance to Coco Cay. The new adults only area is out here, the Hideaway Beach. I was there last week. I made a video of that. So if you're interested to see a closer look at that Hideaway Beach, I will leave that linked in the description and at the end of the video. And then it looks like we have another monkey up here. We do have another monkey here. This time it's a monkey with a surfboard. How cool is that? Surfing monkey! Now beyond the Flow Rider, we have this huge sports court. And this is a pretty diverse sports court. Of course, they play basketball there. They can set up soccer goals. And the hot lick, of course, is pickleball. And so they do have pickleball sessions on this sports court here. And as we move past the sports court, another staple of Royal Caribbean cruise ships would be the ping pong pods. So you got people playing ping pong out of the sun right now. 3 full ping pong tables there. I like that it's enclosed, so it's gonna make it a little tougher to lose the ball. And then as we continue on deck 16, to the right here is one of the kids zones. And wow, just look how long this cruise ship is. You know there's infinite hallways inside, but very rarely do you get this huge stretch of open deck on the pool deck. So making our way down deck 16, let's take a look at the pool deck. And it's massive. Like I said, I think it's 4 pools big. This is approaching it here on deck 16. So you have 1 pool here. The big gap there would be Central Park. Then you have another pool over there. Of course, you got a bandstand here where there's a DJ sometimes. We've got a band getting ready to kick off. And then what separates this half of the pool deck with the other half is this huge lime and coconut 2-story bar. So it's, again, massive. But the cool thing is, because it's so massive, there are a lot of spots for people. So I've never really seen, even on the sea day, every seat taken. There are cabanas that you can rent here on the Lido, on the pool deck. And I do like these hot tubs that kind of hang over. It's kind of like an infinity hot tub, but they're shaded, which is nice. And then, of course, you've got not only deck loungers, but you also have these type chairs in case you want to do some sitting and not necessarily lounging. So the little area here on the backside of the lime and coconut, some nice covered seating. I love the fact that there's shaded seating, but you can still kind of be out enjoying the pool deck. Then as we pass through this mid-deck area of the pool deck, we come really kind of the kids section. Now, the other thing that's wild is that this is just one side. So the kids section and the water park. Of course, you got the big bucket splash there. Got all these water slides. It's just amazing, really. Let's just try to take it all in a little bit. This ship just goes on forever. You still have the solarium up there. And we just had the big bucket splash. And then this is a look at the lime and coconut from this side. So many great spaces on this pool deck. It's crazy. So obviously, if you're a fitness enthusiast, this is a great ship for you too. Just walking around the cruise ship, you get a lot of activity in. It's a big cruise ship. I don't want to take away from that, but I really feel like because it's a big cruise ship, you get offered so many amenities. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough, really. Now, as we make our way toward the solarium, there is a special area just for kids that are 13 to 17 years old called the patio. And it's behind this area, which is really nice that, again, if you're somebody that's a family that has kids of diverse ages, they're gonna feel special on this cruise ship. Of course, all the fun stuff like water slides are here to do, but the fact that they have areas specifically for them really kind of makes it special. And then we've almost made our way all the way to the end of deck 16 to the forward part of the ship. And it butts right into the specialty restaurant Hooked, which we won't go in there, but that is a specialty restaurant around seafood. And then it overlooks the solarium. So we'll dip down a deck and do a quick tour of the solarium. So peaceful. It's so peaceful down here. I guess that's the kind of the mark of the solarium. You're trying to find a kind of quiet spot on the cruise ship. Out here we have this nice bar on deck 15. And then we have a warning that it is the adult area ahead. So you have to be 18 years old to spend time in the solarium. And this is really a beautiful spot, especially on days and places you want to observe. It's got glass from floor to ceiling. It's enclosed, so even in the rain or the cold, this is a spot that you can be in. And we'll just take it in. Now behind these walls here, this is the solarium bistro, which does have an included food option. They also serve breakfast and lunch sometimes. But the nice thing about the solarium is they have not only hot tubs, which is what we see in front of us, but there's also a cold pool. So you can relax in a cold pool or a hot tub. You can completely take in all of the views in front of the ship. It's just a really nice spot. And it's a nice escape if you don't want to be with folks under 18. This is the place for you to go. And fortunately, there is a nice area to get something to drink if you'd like to get your drink. All right, so we're getting ready to exit the solarium on the opposite side of where we entered, but I do want to show you this. This is another cool feature of Oasis class cruise ships. Do have this big infinity hot tub. So you have a hot tub that hangs over the side of the cruise ship, which is a really interesting experience. All right, leave the solarium. That takes us back out to the pool deck. Of course, we're down one level now. And so this is where one of the water slide terminates. This is a cool water slide. Of course, you can't super see it from this aspect, but it's like one of those drainage bowl water slides where you kind of drop in and then you drop out of the center of the bowl. We'll take a quick look over the side here. So as you can see, the two pools flank Central Park, which is very cool. Every time I take in these views, it just blows my mind at this ship design. It really is one of my favorite ship designs. If you haven't experienced it, you should try it out. Here's another look at another pool. It's just amazing the amount of space they have dedicated to swimming and relaxing. And it brings us kind of back to the middle here where the lime and coconut is. Two-story bar. I love the fact that they both have shaded areas and sunny areas. So if you don't want to be completely under the sun, but you would like to be outside, you can come to a spot like this, get a drink, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy the music of the live band. And really, this is a great day to do it, as a lot of the people are off the ship at Coco Cay. I'll just show you one more aspect before we duck back inside. There is this kind of tiered, kind of like this tiered chair area where you can also lay out, and then you have good access to the pool here, which is super cool. So we're down on deck 15, and as we make our way back inside, we will come to the marketplace, which is the buffet. Now this food truck here is a new concept for this ship, the Spare Tire, and it's all around grab and go. So you've got drink station there for water, napkins. Hey, how's it going? But then you have all of these grab and go options. How's it going? You got tornadoes and mini chimichang, or mini churros. That's what they are, really. Mini churros. Then you have these sandwiches. Really good grab and go option. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Then you pop back inside. And that takes us to the Windjammer, I think I call it. Yeah, it's the Windjammer Marketplace. And the Windjammer Marketplace is the main buffet here. Look, before we go in there, let me show you one more of the specialty restaurants. I know I'm not going to hit every spot on the ship, so might as well hit the ones that I can. Another one of the specialty dining restaurants that came along to Royal Caribbean with the Wonder of the Seas is the Mason Jar. And the Mason Jar is kind of built around the idea of Southern dishes. You got biscuits and Johnny cakes, and I believe they got pimento cheese on something. Pretty interesting menu. In addition to the restaurant, they do have the Mason Jar Bar, which they have live country music here every night. There's another content creator out there, Brian James, who is the singer here in this bar. He makes a lot of interesting content as an employee. So check that guy out if you want a deeper dive. But he does his thing here at the Mason Jar. And then it's kind of just like a good old Southern restaurant. Really interesting concept. Let's take a swing around the Windjammer. Right at the beginning of the Windjammer, they have these huge hand washing stations. And normally, during the peak times, they have performers up here telling you to wash your hands. A little washy-washy. What's nice is right when you enter in the Windjammer, how's it going? They have this great bar here where you can just walk up and get drinks. And then this international flavors, this usually changes, so it just depends on what's going on, what they have. Looks like we have some Indian food today. Some good looking dishes. So whereas that station changes often, across the way this station is usually pretty similar. So you got this nice bakery station, all these cool bread displays, for display only, but then they also have the bread for you to consume. These definitely you can eat, but not all of these. So
just a display.
yeah, but man, I wish you guys could smell it. The fresh bread smells wonderful. And then there's this little charcuterie area here, which, or the deli, is what they call it. Cheeses, wow, so much good stuff. Chicken salad, prosciutto, breads. The buffet is kind of a twin buffet, so they have two sides to it. The left side is closed currently, and then This gives you one of the best views of the boardwalk, where you can see the cool Utopia of the Seas sign, and then I look down at the boardwalk. It's very cool. And then we will check out the open side of the buffet. There's always an abundance of stations over here. During lunch, you usually have this fresh from the garden. Sometimes at night, this is more of like a protein and vegetable section, but fresh from the garden, so you have a nice salad bar selection. I do love the days when they have the green olives. Seems like black olives every day, but someday you get the green olives, which is nice. Get some pre-made salads here. It does change though. So we have a soup section, Italian meatball soup. We got nice rice and beans. Looks like we've got tacos here today. So we got pork, beef, chicken, ground beef, with chips and shells. So yeah, it's a good old taco day on the buffet. And one of the really cool aspects of these ships is there's a little kiddie buffet too. So it's neat that they've lowered the height and they've got kind of kid-centered stuff, great desserts, and then always a cool sandwich with a smiley face, which, you know, as a kid, that's a blast. Of course, you got some nice desserts here, fruits, cherries, apples, so many selections. And look, the stations keep coming. You have roasted lamb on the buffet today. You've got a Irish lamb stew, rice. Wow, so many selections. And this is just a small part of it. Desserts over here. Corn on the cob, vegetables. Today they even have a stir fry section where you can choose what you want and they'll cook you up some Asian food in a wok. Then you got the staples, the standards, hot dogs, hamburgers, bacon, chicken tenders, French fries. Got it all. To be honest, this has been one of the better buffets I've ever experienced. It's been very impressive. A lot of diversity and choices, and it seems like it's the perfect size for the crowd that they have. Not a lot of waiting, always seats. Yeah, nice job. All right, so let's finish this tour where we started, right here in front of the Utopia of the Seas sign. This is a massive cruise ship. I'm sure I haven't showed you everything. You're gonna have to come on and explore it for yourself, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.